next chapter of create is very important. And I don't think I've heard too many people talk about this, but it's called create a micro commitment. I would even title this chapter is the power of the micro commitment in your life. Why do I say that? And why do I think it's so important? See, one of the things that I talk to my clients all the time, they're probably sick of me saying this again and again and again, but the reason why I say it, it's so important. The three greatest assets that you have as a human being is as following. Number one, it's your time. Number two, it's your wisdom, because it takes experience and time to create wisdom. And last but not least, it's the third asset, which is your network. It takes time, your wisdom, and then your relationships or your connections to create a network. So when it comes to relationships, creating networks, and really creating a result and even a lever or leverage, you have to make sure that you're spending the time with the right people. Ask me how I know that. As part of one of my breakdowns that led me to that depression and suicidal thoughts was because I stopped spending my time with the right people. I got into the wrong crowd and it started me on the wrong path. Even when serving people, I was trying to serve people that did not want to be served. Yes, they wanted the result, but they didn't want to do anything to do with actually investing the time, energy, and money to actually achieve the result. So therefore, I learned very quickly the hard way that not everybody that wants what they're looking to create is deserving. And I'm not saying it in a negative way, meaning I hope that everybody that has a dream will achieve it. And you deserve everything that you dream of. But part of the deserving aspect for me in my life, as far as really important, is that are you willing to take the steps necessary to achieve what you're looking to create or that you feel that you deserve, right? If you're telling me that you would like to become financially successful or create success in your health or create success with your relationships or impact, and you're just chanting on a you know couch with a remote control, I'm sorry. Until yet, and I love that I have my friend and almost a sister from another mister, Miss Pam. Until you say yes to yourself, why should I say yes to you, invest my time, energy, and money, something that once I invest or spend, I can never get back? I really want you to think about that. And if that is the only thing that you take away from this training, I believe if you just take that idea and you implement it in your life, if you haven't yet, I know it will make all the difference. And then the way I know how it will make all the difference, because that was the pivotal moment for me, right? I always talked about doing big things. I was talking about helping millions of people, but it was a very hard moment when I was working with a friend, a coach, and a mentor of mine. And she said, you keep talking about these millions of people that you're going to help. Can I ask you a question? I said, yeah, sure. You're my coach, you're my mentor. She goes, how many are you helping now? Nobody. She goes, before you talk about helping millions, help one, and then two, and then three, and allow that to build into a movement. She goes, it's nice to talk about millions, but if you are not able to help one, now you're just fantasizing. Go help one. And that was a very important lesson that I had to learn the hard way. And it really brings us back to the power of the micro commitment. Part of creating a micro commitment, part one, is first and foremost, truly gift from your heart without any reservations. The only caveat that I learned the hard way is that make sure to give to the people that are deserving, not just needy. The reason why I say that is because when you give to somebody that just needy, it does not create sustainable impact. When you do serve somebody that's deserving, that's ready to take your help, to take action from that help and make a difference, and then pay it forward from there, it creates sustainable change. It creates sustainable impact versus somebody that just hears information, doesn't implement anything, and as a result of it, doesn't create any result or any additional impact. So that's part number one. And I hope you get it the way it's meant to be received and communicated is that I have a heart for the world. But if I would only spend time with those that are just needy versus the one that are deserving, that are showing me that they're willing to show up, that they're willing to take action, and they're willing to create results that will create the impact and the results of others, those are the people that I will choose to serve and give from the bottom of my heart without any reservation or expecting anything in return. Because if me paying it forward to them allows them to pay it forward to others, that's why I do what I do. And I would invite you to consider doing the same in your industry, in your business, and seeing how it will come back to you tenfold as you become known as the industry leader, and then a thought leader, and then somebody that makes a difference, not just talks. So, part number two, create an expectation. What do I mean by that? Usually, when I meet somebody and I just realize I can help them, whether through a resource, a connection, or maybe being a champion for their cause, I ask them to do a small thing, a small commitment. I usually will ask them to send me an email or a message or an instant message, whichever form of communication that you have, the next morning or next Monday of that next coming week. Why do I say that? To, to me, when creating that commitment, number one, I'm seeing if they honor their word. Do they fulfill on their commitments? If they say, if I do this, if I'm willing to connect you with, provide a solution, will you send me a quick email on this day at this time? Right? If they say yes, we've created a commitment. Now, because of the commitment, I can have an expectation that they will fulfill that commitment. Because without the commitment, I shouldn't expect anything, right? Because there was no agreement. So I will usually have them send me a message or do some small task that will show me that that gift is valuable to them as well, and they value it as much as I do. One of the things that I would say that I do kind of in the advanced version of the same principle, I will actually make sure to write down in my notes, okay, I just met Dr. Andrea. She told me and made a commitment with me that she will email me on Monday at 10 o'clock, then number one, I look, did she fulfill the commitment? If she emailed me, yes, she fulfilled her commitment. That means if she tells me something or I tell her something and we create a commitment, it's not going to waste my time moving forward, most likely, right? And the second part that I check for after the commitment is fulfilled, did she email me at 10 exactly? 10:05? Was it 11? Was it 3 hours later? Was it 6 hours later? Why do I do that? That is something that tells me whether the individual or the person respects my time. Do they respect my time to the same level that I do? If they email me 3 hours later than the usual time, I'll choose to, not make that email a priority and answer it 3, 4 hours later. I allow them to self-select to which level of game they want to play with me, right? Because I always talk about stop working hard, let's start playing smart, right? I love having fun in life. I love playing, not working. I believe that you should be doing something that you're truly passionate about or transitioning to something that you're passionate about. I know that our commitments and responsibilities that need to be taken care of, but life is too short. Remember my dad's lesson. You never know if tomorrow will come, and yesterday is already in the past. Are you living your life of your dreams without regrets? So that's one of the key moments that I look at creating a micro commitment. It allows me to see if the person can, number one, keep a commitment, if they value my gift, and number three, do they value my time? And will they just respect my time going forward? Usually, that gives me a very good indication which people should go to the top of the list, which should go to the middle of the list, and which should go to the bottom of the list. Because we all have limited resources and limited time that we're looking to pay it forward with when it comes to our resources and everything. So those who deserve our time should get first priority. If they are honorable with their commitments, if they value your time and they respect it. Those are the people that I choose to give first unconditionally. And last but not least, and this is a big one, eliminate the assholes. Yes, you heard me right. Eliminate them out of your life. Eliminate those assholes. These are the people that will keep asking you and asking you and asking you and asking you and asking you without paying or doing anything for you in return. There are two types of people in life, right? There are people that are givers and there are people that are takers. Make sure to be, number one, a person who's a giver, because there's a lot of amazing gifts that come with it, right? The giver's gift. But also be mindful of the people who are takers. I don't mind serving people who are willing to reciprocate. And I don't do it for that reason of reciprocation, but it's also goes back to the whole concept of sustainable, not only success, significance, but service, right? The impact. If you keep giving away all your gifts to the assholes and you have nothing in return to either A, pay it forward with, to share with, they're not adding value to your life. They're just taking, taking, taking. And the hardest part usually is when it's somebody close to you, when it's family. They may not think about it, right? But they ask, 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 ask. And God forbid you have a request or invitation for them. They're too busy. They're showing you right there where they are a, another awesome teaching is this. And this is a bonus teaching when it comes to assholes, right? There's two types of people, right? We've talked about givers and, takers, but there's another analogy that I learned from my friend Casey. He's becoming a dear friend and a mentor as well. He talks about there are two types of people. There's anchors that will pull you down no matter what kind of waters that you're in. And then there are buoys that will bring you up even in the storm. They will help you stay above the surface so you can breathe, you can survive the storm and then move forward. Cut off the anchors, hold on to the buoys, and allow your project, your life to rise to the next level. Those anchors will keep you down and they will keep dragging you and dragging you and dragging you. And when it comes to anchors and buoys, another analogy, maybe you'll relate to this one, is a red button and a green button. And when Casey shared with me, he goes, "Do you do the red button, green button approach?" I said, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "What is a red, green button?" I'm thinking Matrix, right? The green blue pill and the blue pill. I'm like, "What is it?" He goes, "No, remember that smart thing that you got? When somebody calls you, there's a green button and there's a red button. When they call you, do you hit the green button or the red button? And when you call someone, do they hit a green button or a red button?" See, all you have to do is just eliminate the red buttons in your life and make sure that you become more green buttons in other people's phones, right? Become the buoy for them because then they can become the buoy for you. And this completes our section of create a micro commitment or the power of the micro commitment in your life.